All right, thank you for joining me today on Manufacturing Day 2020. My name is Justin Stofan. I work at Garner Products. I'm a part of the SVMI team, uh, or one of their presenters today. Um, let's go ahead and get started. So a little bit about SVMI, Sacramento Valley Manufacturing Initiative. SVMI is organized by and for Sacramento's manufacturers. We're committed to working with educators to proactively develop vocational, educational, and workforce initiatives and programs to involve students in the manufacturing world. Our efforts will ensure that the Sacramento area is viewed as a region of manufacturing excellence with a globally competitive manufacturing. So the goal of this event is to go over what is manufacturing, the opportunities of manufacturing, and what local manufacturers are doing. So a little bit about the company I work for. I work for Garner Products, Inc. We manufacture hard drive degaussers and destroyers and data elimination equipment. So we're end of life for all your computer needs. So we got to destroy hard drives, cell phones, anything that holds data on it. We serve large data centers such as Oracle and Amazon, large corporations such as Microsoft, HP, and Apple. So when you give back an old, when you go and return a cell phone that goes to the Apple headquarters, they use one of our pieces of equipment to destroy the unit when it comes in. We also sell to government branches such as the Army, Navy, and the NSA. So we work with the government to meet their top secret security levels, and we comply with those, and we're able then to produce equipment to send to the Army and the Navy so that they can put it in their facilities to be able to destroy their hard drives so nobody gets their secrets. We make our equipment in-house with help from our machine shop, production team, and engineering department. So I'm going to start off by showing you a couple of our pieces of equipment. Pictured right down here at the bottom of the screen, that is a hard drive degausser. And it's a pretty small unit, about 34 pounds. What it does is it creates a magnetic field that will demagnetize magnetic objects, such as a computer hard drive, this credit card pictured here, and like a floppy disk or tape. So kind of showing you how we do it. I have a picture of this credit card here. There's a special fluid, it's called ferrofluid. So it's liquid with little magnetic particles. And I put that on the back of the credit card on the magnetic strip. And this shows you what's on the back of the credit card. So it shows you all the data on the back of the hard drive in their sync. And so what we do is if you were to put this inside of our degausser, it would get rid of that information. So when you go to check in at a hotel, they give you a hotel room key. And they say, make sure this doesn't get put next to your cell phone or any sort of magnetic object because it might take off, you might need to come down and get your card rescanned. That's because you basically just degaussed your cell phone because you or not your cell phone, but the credit card because you demagnetized it. We just do that on a much larger scale. So we do that with computer hard drives. And so the picture on the left here, this is of a magnifying glass with a piece of a hard drive particle that's gone through a shredder. And so we put that same magnetic fluid on the hard drive piece here. And underneath the microscope, it shows you all the data that's on the hard drive, just on this little particle. And so all that information can be recovered if it's not degaussed. And so that is why the government, the military, and our other customers, they purchase this equipment so nobody can get their sensitive data. Another piece of equipment that we manufacture is a physical hard drive crusher. That's the unit here on the right, and also a solid state destroyer. So solid states such as cell phones, USB thumbsticks, SD cards, really anything that is not magnetic media. And so we physically destroy that. And so we make this destroyer in-house. Basically 90%, 99% of the unit is made in-house. The only piece that is not is a motor and some little other pieces, but that is one thing that we're very proud of, is manufacturing this whole unit in-house, as well as this SSD1. So this PD5, this destroyer, puts out 20,000 pounds of crushing force just in this little unit, and it's the size of a computer CPU. And we manufacture this product and the solid state destroyer that actually goes inside of the destroyer to be able to crush the solid state memory. And so we need to make sure that the SSD1 is able to keep up with the continuous force that this PD5 is putting out for each cycle, for hundreds of thousands of cycles. And so that's one of the challenges that we face here with manufacturing, making sure it can keep up with that. So as an example of what the hard drive crusher does to a hard drive, the picture here is of just a standard hard drive, and then one on the left is after it goes through our crusher. So basically it bends it up into the shape of a taco and will ultimately break it in half. So good luck trying to get any data off of there. Here's a little bit more about our SSD1 and how it fits inside of the PD5. So this is of it actually crushing a cell phone. So inside the SSD1, there's 4 pieces of metal, and the bottom piece slides up to expose these spikes. Now this is a unit that is for display purposes only, where we cut out the front so you can see what's hidden inside the unit. So these teeth are actually hidden, are retracted inside the unit until it starts to get crushed. And once it's crushing, that's actually what exposes the teeth or bed of nails. And just really cool to be able to see this operate. And it puts out 20,000 pounds of force. So it's fun to watch all the shards of glass from the phone screens or plastic just kind of pop off and go everywhere. A little about me and my background. I grew up in Folsom, California. I went to Folsom High School and I went to Sierra College. I didn't necessarily know that I wanted to start working in manufacturing. I started off as a bicycle mechanic when I was 16. I was working at bikes, building bicycles at a local bike shop. And then when I started going to college at Sierra College, I needed a different job that would be able to go around my school hours. And so I was going to school full time. And then I started working at Garner Products, which is also my family's business. So I'm 3rd generation in the family. And it's really cool because I got to work with my family all day. I started off sweeping floors and on our production line when I first started off after hours. So I was just helping basically wherever I could and fill in any spots that I kind of could be able to get build myself up, because I came into the company knowing nothing about it, even though it's a family business. And so I started off helping in production, and then there was a position in our small machine shop, which only consisted of 2 people at the time. And so I started helping them, and I was getting more and more involved in the machining. And throughout the process, we acquired a water jet. And water jet basically has a small stream of water that comes out at a very high pressure, about 60,000 PSI. And that unit can cut through 2-3 inches of aluminum or steel. It just takes time to be able to do it, but it's really cool because you can start cutting out shapes and really anything you want. So I started off on that machine while also learning how to load and run CNC machines. And so working from there, I eventually moved into a full-time operator position for the water jet, and well able to do CNC, running our CNC machines. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I had the opportunity of me to become a purchasing agent or purchaser and a shop, kind of a shop lead. So I was still running the machines, and I was able to start doing the purchasing for the machine shop. So that would have me involved in the purchasing of material, tools, tracking jobs when they come out, when our office sends them for parts for us to make for our sales team. So when our sales team needs some parts made, then we would start in the machine shop by making them there, sending them over to our production line, and kind of going down the road with that. I worked in the machine shop for another couple of years while doing that, and then I was able to take a position in tech support. Our tech support basically was a perfect fit for me because I was in our production team. I was on the production line. I was in the machine shop, so I knew how our products went together, which is really cool. And so I was able to now actually talk to customers who's using our products, and I can try to help them diagnose issues if they're having issues, get them parts, kind of really just go along those lines and actually see how they're being used in the real world. And so while doing that, I was having a lot of fun. I had opportunities where I could go off-site, go do repairs for our customers who's having any issues with their equipment, and so forth. While in tech support, I then was able to move up into a position in sales. And so while I was being kind of onboarded into the sales position, I was still also doing the purchasing for the machine shop. So I was still always involved in the machine shop because that's where my passion was. I really enjoy doing anything with the machine shop because it's really fun and it's just cool to see what they're doing over there. So I'm in sales, and that's currently where I am now. I'm in sales. I still help out in the machine shop and still have a lot of fun doing it. So while I was in sales, I wasn't getting to get the machine time that I wanted. And that's when our company became involved with SVMI. And I heard SVMI was running a program where it was kind of a crash course to basically put you through a CNC program. It was called the Machinist Pre-Apprentice Program. And so I took that class or that course through SVMI, and that got me back in the shop, working with the machines, having a lot of fun. And so that is then when they asked me to speak for this, and I am enjoying it very much. So kind of go through, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures here of projects that I've done for work and how you can use the skills that you've learned from work outside of work. So I am truly an automotive enthusiast. I love off-roading. I love anything about vehicles. If it makes noise, awesome. So this is my vehicle on the left. It's a Toyota 4Runner, and I've significantly modified it for off-roading. I do the Rubicon Trail and other cool things like that. Build all my own suspension parts, build steering components and everything like that. And I've learned how to do that, welding, stuff like that. I've learned how to do that from working in the shop and then being able to apply those skills outside of the shop as well into my own personal life. The picture on the right over here of these rock sliders, I used our water jet and our machine shop here to cut out these little gussets and use the saw and a tube bender to be able to bend the tube and to be able to make these sliders so they can bolt right on the or weld right on the side of the car. Picture here on the bottom, this is of a buddy who broke in the middle of a trail. Him and his dad were out off-roading, gave me a call, brought up spare parts. So I brought spare parts and tools so that we could go up and fix his vehicle in the middle of the trail at night. It was just really cool to be able to know, have the confidence to be able to go out and repair these vehicles in the middle of the forest and just know I have that skill set. And it all started from really started working at the bicycle shop, working my way up the shop or through the production floor and to the machining to be able to apply all these skills to see how everything goes together. So picture here on the bottom left, this is of a colleague and I. We are actually on I took this picture on a tech support call where we went to the customer's location. They were having an issue with our product. And so we went there to try to help them out to see what was going on. They actually, our product was not the cause of the issue. It was actually the power into the building. So they had some sort of power issue. So we went there, we're digging through trying to test different voltages and do different other, a couple other tests to kind of see what was going on, and it ended up not being our product. So that the customer was very happy that we came to them, and I had the experience of working with the customers and the prior knowledge of building the equipment so we could go there and work on, fix the equipment on site without them having to ship the unit back to us and them having downtime. Another cool picture here, this is of our PD5, that hard drive crusher I showed you a picture of. This is it taken apart without the side panels and without the front panel on. Without the front panel on. So we manufacture all of these parts in-house. Everything is made across the street here from me in our machine shop, everything except this motor here. We make our own wiring harnesses. We make our own vertical uprights here. We make all these front and rear plates or top and rear plate for the machine. Everything that you see here was done by all of by our team here that we have here in-house. So it's just really cool to be able to see how the product is being applied and used out in the real world, and just to know that you've had something to do with making that product. It's just really rewarding. And so continuing on, my job, manufacturers are growing. They offer interesting work and provide rewarding careers. We want to hire local students like you to be part of our team. You can do exciting, well-paid work producing products that make the world a better place. So this is a picture of me. We were actually awarded the President's E Award in Washington, D.C. for being an export manufacturer. So we manufacture product and we send it outside the U.S. So it's really cool. Also, now being in sales, now knowing that I have customers in Italy, and not Italy, in India, Europe, and Singapore, and they're using our equipment. It's really cool to see that. And so we were one of 3 companies in California and one of 30 companies out of the whole country to receive this award. It was very cool. And this is part of the team that came out to tour our facilities. So teamwork is very important. Teamwork is how you work with others to organize and physically and on a scheduled basis plan to conduct and complete your work. So our team here involves our sales team, our engineering team, our machine shop, and production line, so our production team. And so we all work together to be able to create the best product that we can. So when the sales team gets a phone call, hey, I need this unit to do X, Y, and Z, then the sales team will work with the engineering team. The engineering team will drop a plan, and they will and they'll try to get a solution that will work for the customer. And so they'll drop that plan. I'll go back to the customer. Hey, we can do this for you. And then if they give us the thumbs up, the green light to go ahead, then we will go back to our engineer and say, cool, let's do it. The engineer then will work with our machine shop to be able to make the equipment, make the parts, and then the parts will then go to our production line or production team who will assemble it. And it's really cool to be able to have been a part of each one of those teams to know how it's going to go down the line and going to be eventually made. It's very cool. So some of the equipment is what have you learned to learn about the product that you make and the processes you are responsible for, personal protective equipment and safety. So personal PPE equipment is very important to us. Make sure you're always wearing safety glasses, slip-resistant shoes, and in my case, I prefer to wear earplugs just because the machines are making noise. If you're airing out parts, you can get a high-pitched air noise. So it's really important to make sure you wear that PPE equipment. So some of the equipment that we have in our shop, this is one of our new CNC routers. And this unit is very fun to use. And this is actually what I'm still learning to run. And we just got this unit probably about 3 months ago. So it's pretty cool. The CNC router, we use it to make foam for our equipment. So the foam that goes inside the cardboard boxes, and then we put our equipment inside of that. Similar to this cutout here down below with these tools. And it cuts out so everything has a place. So it's very cool knowing that the foam we're making, each one of our customers are getting it when they purchase a piece of equipment, and when they open it, they see how much care we have in just the protection of the equipment, and they know that we have that put into the final product. And so it's really cool, really nice to know and see that when they just open it up and they probably throw the foam away anyways, that they see that it's protected and we take pride in our product. So product, when you work for a manufacturer, you can physically see and touch an end product that you help make, which is immensely satisfying. This is very true. Again, these are pictures of all parts that we have made in our shop, and it's really cool to see them be made in the machine shop and then assembled to our pre-assembly line and then the final product. So we manufacture each one of these parts in-house. So it's just an aluminum plate that we have made, and it's gone through about 2 or 3 operations, I believe, because there's some side holes on the top. This is a pulley guide we made out of aluminum. So this comes in as an aluminum block, and we get the aluminum block, we put it on our saw, and we cut it. So we cut it down, and then it goes from there into a CNC machine to be brought down to its final size, which is very, very cool. We made these plastic pulley guides with our water jet. So we got a 4x4 sheet of plastic. This gets put over on the water jet. We cut the circles out, and then it goes to the CNC machine for another operation for its chamfers and for its other various operations. Actually, I'll go back here too. This is the bottom picture here are of all parts that we make in-house. So we make all these parts in-house for either piece of our equipment. So we make plastic parts, aluminum parts, steel. It's all manufactured, and we make it all in-house. And the rewarding part is when you got to do special products for the company. So this was a project that we did where we cut out the country on a piece of aluminum, and then we polished the piece of aluminum so it had a mirror-like background, and then we cut out another overlay for it, and then we got that powder-coated black. It's really cool to do fun projects like that, because when people walk into your company and they see this, they see this unique piece of wall art, and then you're like, yep, we made that across the street in our shop. They think that's really cool. So manufacturers in the Sacramento region are making products that change lives and improve the world. It's incredibly satisfying to know that something you contributed to has such a positive impact. For instance, medical devices that save lives of patients, agriculture equipment to grow, process food more substantially, components to make planes, trains, and cars, and drones for space exploration. So when you get to make all these parts, it's really something that contributes to this part, something that you are seeing being used all over the world, whether it's at the grocery store down the street, if they have this room in the back closet, or our piece of our equipment in the back closet. It's just really cool to know where the equipment is going. We have our equipment put on the Navy aircraft carriers. That is a huge deal. So we have just a small company that we are out of Roseville, California. We have about 30 employees, and we have our equipment on, I believe it's 6 or 7 Navy aircraft carriers. That is a huge deal, and it's really cool to know that our equipment is being used out there for this purpose, or for the destruction of the media purpose, and keeping our military safe. So how did I start in this, and how did I end up here? So I started, always was kind of curious, so a little different for me because it's a family business. I was always curious what happened or what was going on in the company. And so I started out, like I said, from being on the production line, kind of doing part-time working while I was going to school full-time. And I kind of just grew from there. So I was able to take the stair steps and kind of progress my skills and learn new techniques as I was going along. And that's what companies want to see. They would like to mold you and get you when you have no experience, and they can just build on you. So kind of like a blank book. So you can just go any direction you want and see where you will thrive. Where did I start and what did I do? Like I said, I was starting the production line. What are my future career steps? So I wish that I did take a CAD/CAM course. So I am not the best at programming per se, and I would like to become much better at programming. I think that would be really cool to be able to make some complex parts and use them, use them, make them for work, make them for my off-road vehicles, and just be able to apply them in any way. That's probably my next step, is to learn some more CAD software. So the requirements. There are opportunities at manufacturing companies for people with every level of education. High school graduates may learn on the job. Community college students with certificates in machining, welding, mechatronics, CAD, and electronics are in big demand and earn excellent salaries. Engineers and managers require university degrees. Often there are summer internships or part-time work while you are going to school, so you can experience the work and help pay for education, just like what I went through. So I was working part-time while I was going to school full-time, and I was able to grow, make my position change along with how I was evolving within the company and outside the company with school, and apply what I'm learning in school at work. So it's really cool because you guys see the trade-off. So that's the big thing. So while I was going to school for business. That's what I started off going there for, and I'm still going to school for business. And I was taking my accounting classes. And so while I was taking these accounting classes, that was when I switched over to doing the purchasing for the machine shop. And I'm like, oh, this is super cool because I'm getting to see how what I'm learning in school actually transfers over in the real world with the accounting side of things. And so it was just really rewarding getting to see just getting to see that trade-off. And so it's really cool. So creativity, creative problem solvers who find better ways to make things, source materials, reduce environmental impact, modify designs, develop new processes, cut costs, and can take what a customer is trying to accomplish and find an answer. An open mind. Manufacturers often sell their products to other businesses rather than products like those you see in the store. Check out manufacturers. You may be surprised that they all have offices and customers all over the world. This is very true. So when I was mentioning that pulley wheel that we made for the physical destroyer, so we started making that unit on that part on the water jet. And so we got a big chunk of aluminum, and it would take about an hour for the water jet to cut out the circle or cut out the pulley gear, just a rough cut. And then it still required machine time after that. When we were doing that on the water jet, it was pretty inefficient. So we got a bandsaw, horizontal bandsaw, so I could put that same piece of aluminum or piece of metal onto the saw, and that's when it would cut it into the strips. And now, instead of it taking an hour to get a rough shape from the water jet, then now we put it on the saw, and it takes a couple minutes to cut through that. Then we put it in the CNC machine, and it will cut out the exact same part that it did on the water jet in about 15 minutes. So it's really cool to be able to see how we can improve your part runtime and become more efficient rather than letting it take an hour per part and waste a lot of time with that slower process. So wanted to thank you for listening to my presentation. Really appreciate it. And now I can open it up to any questions.
Thank you so much. That was great. Let me ask the kids here, see if they have any questions.
Okay.
The one I came up to mind was, what CAD software are you guys using to manufacture your parts?
So CAD software, we are using SolidWorks. CAM software, we are using GibbsCAM.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because the kids right now, that's what they're working on, is they're learning the CAD software in this class.
Very cool.
So we're just got through. They're learning how to create their bill of materials
cool.
for their designs, and we just got through assemblies and sub assemblies. So they've been kind of going through that process from never touching CAD to now finishing the assembly and doing their bill of materials, which looks like what you guys have, because you manufacture, you said, everything in house, right, and put it all together.
Exactly. Yeah. A couple of slides here, a couple of slides ago, I had a picture. Yeah. So this is our sub-assemblies for our top motor mounts. So this picture on the top here, this is the same as, where was it? Right here. So this is that top plate for the motor mount on the top of our destroyer here. So yeah. So exactly. So you guys see how these sub-assemblies are actually put together. It's really cool. Yeah.
That's great.
Very cool.
And let's just see. I'm asking the kids if they have any questions. Put it in the chat.
What software or CAD software did you say they're learning? Was it SolidWorks or is it like Auto?
It's an online version. It's Onshape. It looks a lot like SolidWorks, ePro, Inventor. That's why I try to tell the kids they're all so similar as far as the toolbar, the tool ribbon looks, and the browser window and all that.
Very true.
So yeah, Onshape is nice because it's all online and it saves everything online. So with distance learning and using Chromebooks, we had to find something that we could use that's internet based.
Definitely. Very cool.
Yeah, so it's been really good. And then as far as your company goes, what different positions do you guys hire? Because you kind of went through all the different things that you did, but what positions would you hire, like say straight out of high school or out of a 2-year school or out of a 4-year?
So like straight out of, like you said, like straight out of high school, for in the machine shop, we would hire, you could come on as being a deburr. So starting as a deburr, that's what I did. So being a deburr, you got to see the part, and you need to see the part. Basically, you need to see the part in order to learn how to go any further. So see what you're making or see what your team's making. And from there, then you can be brought on to be a parts loader. And while you're being a parts loader, that's when you're getting that piece of aluminum out of a proven program, and you can go ahead and put that piece of material in the machine, and you can basically hit that start button and be making parts. While you're doing that, we would be teaching you or helping you learn the coding so that you can actually read the programs while they're running on the machine. So if for some reason there's an issue with the water or with the CNC machine, and a program's off, so you can learn how to become an operator, and so you can keep improving your position within the company, and so you can move up, actually build your knowledge of the equipment so that you can kind of keep going from there.
Okay, great. Yeah. And then what about, because at Sierra College, you said you're a business major, so you didn't take any of the CNC classes at Sierra? Because I know they have a really good CNC program.
So they do. So I actually, so when I was going there, I took courses. They didn't have the CNC program when I was going there. So they just when I was going, I actually switched from Sierra to go to National University. But when I was switching, that's when they got their water jet. And so I was kind of before that. That's right when they started like making the center that it's in. I did take a course at Sierra College through SVMI, and it was their machinist pre-apprenticeship program, and that was a really cool program because that was when I took that I think it was about this time last year, if I'm not mistaken, and I was able to kind of go through and revamp what I've learned in my knowledge. And they put it through in a really quick course. But yeah, Sierra has a really cool machine shop over there.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm trying to. So we got the Prop 51 grant, so we'll be adding 4 CNC machines here in 2 years, and then the laser cutters and plasma cutters and all that.
Very cool.
But it's 2 years out because we just don't have the space for it right now. But we're looking forward to having that in 2 years. And so that's kind of what our future for our program is right now I'm teaching the kids the CAD, and then we go into learning programming and simple machines, and then kind of build in. We actually do aerospace. So I'm excited to start working with Titan.
Oh, awesome. Oh, very cool. Yep. I'm familiar. Yep.
Yeah. So he's going to give us some curriculum on doing some aerospace aluminum CNC projects.
Very cool.
Yeah, but that's just it's kind of nice for the kids to see, because it's hard when you're doing CAD all day to see what you can do with it, because it's 3D. But this was a great presentation because the kids can see that you built all those parts from CAD, and then
thank you. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I have when I was at the Sierra course, we used some of the Titan parts that he has for his building blocks. I believe that's what he calls it. And yeah, it was a lot of fun being able to see getting to make those parts in the course and being able to kind of go along with it. It's very cool. So very nice.
Okay, well, great. Yeah. Well, thank you. It doesn't look like the kids have any questions. I mean, it was a great presentation. It covered everything, which was really nice. We really appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you. No worries. Awesome.
All right. Great.
Well, thank you. Have a good day, and thanks for coming to my presentation.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you.
You as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Everyone's waving at you, but you can't see them.
Oh.
All right. See you later.
Thank you.